In this video, we're going to discuss financial independence and how through frugal living, you have the chance to retire early. We're going to show you how to increase your income, how to lower your expenses, and give you a strategy that you can use to make passive income that is necessary for early retirement if that's a financial goal you want to pursue. Now, if that sounds good to you, hit the like button so we can get started.
Hi, I'm Nadia.
And I'm Nicole, and we are the Wealth Twins.
Now, the definition of financial independence is simply to have the income you make outside of your work be enough to cover all of your living expenses. The reason why you want to be able to cover your expenses outside of your paycheck from your employer is because a job is something you can't control. If you are laid off, your income stops. Period. That's it.
If you want to make financial independence a goal, then you need to know your FI number. Knowing your FI number, which is your financial independence number, will give you a target that you can aim for and know when you actually have reached your goal of financial independence. You can also use this number to reach other levels of financial independence like FIRE, which stands for Financial Independence Retire Early. It's actually a very easy calculation to know what your FI number is. But if it is never done, then there's no way of you knowing how close or how far you actually are from financial independence.
To calculate your financial independence number, all you need to do is understand what your expenses are on a monthly basis. When you're able to cover your monthly expenses with passive income, you are considered financially independent. It's been over 10 years since we retired from our finance jobs. And guess what? Frugal living played a big part in that, because it helped us control those monthly expenses. Frugal living is learning how to live below your means while still being satisfied. Doesn't mean struggling or being cheap. You don't want to have to struggle and you don't want to have to suffer. Frugal living means making personal finance decisions that allow you to use your money to live a life of contentment while at the same time saving money that can be used for longer-term financial goals.
Frugal living can help you reach your financial independence number faster because it teaches you to find ways to lower your expenses and therefore lower your overall financial independence number. Really, the easiest way to lower your expenses is through frugal living. Frugal living ensures that your wants never outpace your means, so you can easily stay ahead of the game and can resist trying to keep up with others who have different financial goals than you. Okay, keeping your wants within your means is the main principle of financial independence. It is a law to follow when you want to stay financially independent. Frugal living is one of the tools you can use to abide by that law. Think about it. It's just like losing weight. The way you lose weight is by eating less and moving more, okay? Truthfully, it is much easier to skip a snack than it is to run 1 mile on a treadmill. So handle the easier part first. Just like cutting your expenses or lowering your expenses is the easier part when you're trying to reach financial independence.
By using frugal living habits, we were able to save more than 50% of our income. I saved 75% at one point, and we both use these savings to help us buy real estate and stock market investments, along with a little bit of crypto like Bitcoin and Ethereum. Not too much, because not only are we frugal, but we're a little skeptical too, which proved to be okay given the news lately. The frugal living habits that had the biggest impact and allowed us to save at least 50% of our money were: we lived in apartments that were in nice neighborhoods, but were not trendy neighborhoods. So we were able to rent apartments for a cheaper amount. We also stayed in those apartments until we were able to buy our first properties.
The frugal living habit that made the most impact in my finances was actually creating a budget. Now, I know no one likes the word budget and it's not sexy, but it actually helped me a lot. Now, what I did was I sat down, I looked at all my expenses that I had for the single month, and then I looked at what I was spending money on that wasn't actually a necessary expense. Now, having a budget meant that maybe some nights I might have to eat at home rather than going out, and I also had to get my impulse spending under control. Now, the good thing about deciding to get my impulse spending under control is that it helped me focus more on value and stopped a lot of my frivolous spending. Focusing more on value rather than just doing frivolous spending allowed me to make more intentional decisions where I was putting my money and actually made me become a minimalist.
Now, we admit it's easier to save money when you don't have children, but we're still frugal and we're still able to save even now with multiple children.
Another frugal living habit that we created was actually saving a dime first. Now, this actually came from an old coworker of mine when I first started working. She told me, Nicole, whenever you make $1, make sure that you save a dime. Now, it was very easily financial advice, and I suggest that you follow that too because it's very easy to follow if you do it a certain way. Make sure to pay yourself first by taking money out of your paycheck and putting it into a savings account somewhere that's not easy for you to touch. If you pay yourself first and make sure that you take at least a dime out of every dollar you make, you will automatically have some savings.
Being able to live frugally also allowed us to stop worrying about losing our jobs and gave us the confidence to do the next big step to achieve financial independence, which was to pursue making more money. Now, reaching financial independence is one thing, but retiring early is a whole nother ballgame. And if you want to retire early in comfort and fast and with more wiggle room, once you are able to retire, you not only have to control your expenses, but you need to be able to have more money. There are really only 3 solid ways to make more money legally. You can either get paid more at your current job or get a higher paying job. You can start a small business or a side hustle. That helps you bring in more money, or you can earn passive income. Since we were working jobs that required a lot of our time, we decided to focus on making more money at work by picking up new skills and taking on more assignments that would get us promoted, and also by changing careers and making more money at a new company.
Nadia and I both became licensed stock market traders, and we actually got promoted to managers, and I even went to NYU where I got my MBA in financial instruments. All of these things made us more valuable in the market, and we were able to ask for more money. Now, if you're interested in learning skills that will get you paid higher in the market, I suggest you check out the video I have linked at the end because they will teach you some high income skills that you can learn now that will get you paid more for 2023 and beyond. Now, since Nadia and I had committed to frugal living before we made more money, we were able to use the extra money that we started making. We actually saved a lot of it and decided to invest it into assets that we thought could also help us reach financial independence. We're talking about assets in the real estate market and also in the stock market. We decided to focus on both real estate and stock market investments that will allow us to make money without needing much of our time.
For real estate, we started looking for properties around the time of the Great Recession. We both decided the best thing we could do was to buy multifamily properties that we can afford on one income. We saw early on that there was going to be a shortage of affordable housing and an increase in the cost of living in the city where we live, which was New York City. By buying places we could afford on one income, we not only made sure we would keep our living expenses low, but we also gave ourselves a chance to become debt-free faster. Buying multifamilies allowed us to house hack, gave us passive income, and give us a place to live where we wanted to live. House hacking is when you live in one part of the property and then you rent out the other spaces that you're not using. We were both able to rent out apartments and garage spaces that help pay for the mortgage. Doing this helped us make passive income at the same time, lower our biggest expense, which was our housing. Now, if you didn't know, housing is usually the biggest monthly expense that you can have. So if you can find a way to house hack that can cover it, along with frugal living, then you'll be good, and retiring early becomes that much easier.
Not only did we use the money that we saved to buy real estate, but like we mentioned before, we actually used it to invest in the stock market. Now, because our goal was financial independence and we wanted to use the money we saved to help create passive income that would eventually replace our paychecks, we just didn't buy just any stock that we got a hot tip about. What we did was focus on dividend stocks, index funds, and ETFs that we thought were cheap at the time, but will also pay us for being partial owners, all right? Now, if you don't know what that is, dividends are actually payments that you get just for holding an investment. Dividends are a form of passive income, and in our opinion, is probably the easiest passive income anyone can make. Since Nadia and I are frugal and believe money is a valuable tool that should be treated responsibly, we don't just spend our time trying to time the market or day trade in and out of investments. That's not what we do, okay? We are long-term investors who believe in taking little risks so that we can protect our money, but also have our money grow over a long period of time. In our opinion, this method is the best for learning how to invest in the stock market as a beginner and for those who are interested in wealth building. If you're interested in learning more about how we invest and the way we teach others how to start investing and create generational wealth, check out the videos we have linked at the end of this and also in the description of this video.
An extravagant lifestyle only increases your expenses, makes the amount of passive income you need to cover those expenses have to be higher, and makes financial independence more of a dream rather than a reality you can control. So if you're serious about financial independence and you want to retire early, do yourself a favor and make frugal living a priority. Subscribe so you don't miss more videos like this.